Hey, come catch this wave with the Fixx squad. The Fixx is in. I'm Mr. Soul, I'm tuning in. What you doing?
Stand up. James left, but the king still reigns here. No tears, no love lost, no rain here. Delivers, I promise, Santa rain here. Love for the city still resides here. Fix for your ailment, faith that resides outside the lines. Detox your mind, cause it matters. Art outside the box, we pace better. The Fixx is in, and we rock a channel. We rock with them for what's deep within. Expose those who talk but don't live. Expose those who talk but don't live. Take offense. Judge by the fruit from the tree, but if the fruit tastes...
One. Welcome back. You tune back into the Fixx, your source for faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble checking in. And listen, you already know what time it is. It's time for our spiritual detox, and we have an exclusive for y'all today. Yes, I'm going to say it. Exclusive for y'all today. Hot off the press. It's our pleasure, to welcome in a two-time Emmy Award winner, an actor, producer, a comedian, youth pastor, and Mr., he's one part of Mr. Good Burger himself. Kale Mitchell, what's going on, sir?
What's up, brother? Oh, man, I'm doing good. Doing good. Good to be here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being on here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, you got a lot going on, so we want to get to it. So first, let's backtrack a little bit. You released last year, later part of last year, you released Blessed Mode, the 90 Days Level Up book, as well as the banging track. Talk about the inspiration behind that and everything that went into that, why you decided to release the book and the collaboration, let's be very clear, with, everybody, Scooty Wop and Dilly on that joker.
Yeah, come on, man. For me, I did Bless Mode the book first. Everybody was like, "Hey, yo, you need to do a book about your life." You know what I mean? You've been through a lot, learned a lot, and so you should do a book. And I was like, "Well, I want to do a devotional because I felt like a devotional, people can tap in with God, hear a story about my life." Get some prayer, and everybody lives a busy lifestyle. So I just wanted them to be able to connect with God, command their morning, and be ready for their day. And within doing that, I wanted to do a devotional that you had a call of action, meaning that at the end of it, you would do some exercising. So I wanted a book that works on your spiritual health and mental health and physical. So I would have you have to do a burpee at the end of it or some type of exercise, because a lot of times people forget about the body, you know what I mean? And our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. So we got to make sure we take care of our body too. So as I was doing that and writing the book during the pandemic, I was listening to a lot of CHH because I love CHH music. I was listening to a lot of it. And when I work out, I was listening to a lot of different people. KB is one of my favorite people that I listen to while working out. And so I had did the King Jesus music video, right? After my book had been out, you know what I mean? And I met up with Wes. We are the good, amazing producers, you know what I mean? And so I was like, yo, I got my book Blessed Mode, and I really want to do a song that goes along with the book. You know what I mean? Because I had already done some stuff that people weren't doing with books. Like I did like a cinematic book trailer. People do book trailers, but I want to do like a cinematic like book trailer. And so I put that with it. And so then I was like, all right, I added anime in that. And then I was like, I got this crazy idea for anime and telling a beautiful Christian story within that. But I got to have a song to go with it. And then Wes hit me with this beat that was crazy. And he was like this hook talking about Blessed Mode. And I was like, yo, I went immediately into the studio, knocked that down. We were like, yo, who should we get on it? And I'm like, yo, we got to get Dilly. We just did the King Jesus video. We got to put Dill on it. And Dill came with that heat, and Blessed Mode just took off. And I just love the fact that everybody loved it, man. It's awesome. Yeah.
That song is fantastic. Listen,
Thank you.
you're more than welcome. And we love everybody that's on that track. Have you always been into music? And if so, who's your number one inspiration?
Whoa. Well, I'm like I love all music. I love jazz. I love rock. I love, my parents were really into music. And so I grew up listening to gospel music. I grew up listening to Parliament. I grew up listening to a lot of R&B, hip hop, dance, Rakim, Kid and Play, Tupac, the whole nine, you know what I mean? X Clan. And just, I went back, right? just a whole bunch of people as I was growing up as a kid. And so I feel like I'm a mixture of like all of that. You know what I mean? All of that. New Edition, you know, all those different ones. So you'll see a lot of that when you hear my music. I love to dance. I'm into that. I love Kid and Play, MC Hammer. You know what I mean? That fun party. Because when I was coming up, that's what was popping around that time. Like Criss Cross was my age.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? So I was doing all that, the jump, and you know what I mean? I had the backwards clothes and all those different things. And I don't know if you know, but a lot of times when I do music, I make sure that when I do a movie, that I have a song in the movie. So even with Ed, when we were doing all of that, I rapped because, you know, I was in a rap group, and I had a song with Immature called Watch Me Do My Thing. Which is now going viral because people have like it's resurfaced, and so like now it's everywhere. Everybody's going crazy over Ed rapping, and I'll never forget that day because I remember Brian, our producer, was like, "Hey, yo, you know, I want you to rap with the hottest R&B group that's out right now, Immature." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And you know, being from Chicago, I rap already, so I'm like, "Yo, I'm about to go in there and go crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, here's the thing, you gotta do it as Ed though." And I was like, "Wait."
Oh.
I was like, well, Ed gonna be spitting.
No, that's right.
Yeah, man. So
that's
I
good.
just have fun, man. I have fun, and then of course the I'm a Dude song. That's ska. That's like, you know, rock and roll. And so that's a whole different like part of me as well. But I, you know, to answer your question, I love music.
Yeah. I love it. No, appreciate it.
Listen, he named everybody.
Everybody. I thought we said X-Clan.
Listen, when he said Brother Jay from X-Clan, that one threw me for a loop. I was like, everybody else I could see, but I didn't know that one. I wasn't ready. So talk about it though. Growing up, you know, talk about the struggle of just where was your mental health space at growing up so successful, so young? Let's be very clear. Like, did you guys think that, you know, Good Burger and all that and everything would take off the way it did? And how were you in that space? Like, let's be very clear. You're a celebrity. You're a young kid. Everybody's coming at you, asking you to do things and be a part of things. Like, where was your mental health space at?
Man, it was a lot of navigating. It was a lot of coming at you quickly. No one expected the show to do what it did. It had never been a show like this before with kids doing sketch comedy, you know, to this caliber. And it was only supposed to be a special. So, really? So when we got it, we were from all different walks of life, different cities. And so I flew from Chicago, battled it out in an audition in LA against like every funny kid across the world. It was like Avengers of kids. Got in there, got the show. And then we shot the pilot in Florida. And then we were told like, hey, this is going to be a special because Nickelodeon's never done anything like this. So they just want to try it out. You know what I mean? And then it being so diverse and hip hop driven. And we all went back home thinking like, all right, we did it. See what happens. And it came out, it aired on television, ratings went through the roof. And then that's when it was like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? And then we went back to Florida to shoot the first season. Now, here's the thing about, you know, back in the 90s, how things were shot. It's not like how Instagram is now and how they pump out stuff and stream it really quickly. You know, it took a whole like another year, you know what I mean? So we were at school, went back home, everything was good, and people started to gradually start to find out about it. But when it got to a point where we couldn't really like go anywhere where kids were, that's when it got crazy. Like younger kids, because high school students were still like trying to get into Nickelodeon. We were the ones that kind of brought high school students in. But it took a little bit at first because it was like more younger. But I remember like the freshmen and stuff in my high school started to kind of like figure it out. And I didn't want everybody at my school to know what I was doing. Because I was like, wait, shh, don't be telling everybody. Hold on.
Give me that lunch money.
Yeah, man. But as a kid, man, and it's like when you're in this business and then you're adulting within the limelight, you know, I know I'm moving a little forward, but as you are adulting in limelight, it's hard because it's like, well, people like, can you trust this person? Do they like me because of who I am personally, or is it because the character that I'm playing? So you always have to do that. Then it's the smoke and mirrors of some people get lost within the like, I'm the character. And it's like, no, you have a good sense of self, you know? So when we brought all that back in 2019 to reboot it, I spoke to the kids, and the Lord told me, like, hey, Kel, tell them something that you wish was told to you when you first got on. And I told them, look, you were beautifully and wonderfully made by God in the womb. So this thing that you're doing is not the thing that's making you special. This show is not making you special. This is just one little stepping stone to a journey of life that you're going to be going on. And this is a job. So recognize it as a job and just understand that there's going to be different things. And you might decide you might not even want to act anymore. You want to do something else. But God is going to be with you on that. And I said that right there at their first table read to let them know. And it's beautiful seeing them now growing up, doing different things. I flew my mom and dad in, had them speak to them too as well, because as you can see, a lot of kids deal with mental health within the entertainment business or just in general. Yeah. And for me, I was like, we really need that, like someone to come in and talk. So me speaking to the kids, empowering them. Then I had my parents talk to their parents, because it comes at you fast. And I wanted them to understand. And it was really deep. I'm getting emotional talking about it, because my mom was like, yo, the other mothers were crying. Some of the dads were emotional, but it was questions that they really got to ask from a mother and a father that had already experienced it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what you need to do when you go through your journeys and when you go through breakthroughs and you get through things in your life. You need to tell people, you know, that testimony, you know what I mean, of how they got through it. So you could be like, hey, don't go through that door. Don't make that decision. I already did that. Let me tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's amazing. Listen, thanks for sharing that too as well, Kel.
Sure.
Listen, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble, you tapped into the Fixx right here on Holy Culture Radio, Siriusxm channel 154. We got to go to a quick break. We coming right back. I promise you, don't touch that dial. Kel Mitchell is in the building. Keep it locked. You tuned into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.
Holy Culture Radio. We're not just background noise. We play the music that inspires you, because every song has a story. Christian hip hop and R&B music and talk on Siriusxm channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You tune back into the Fixx right here on Holy Culture Radio. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble, and we still got the super talented legend. He a legend, yeah. Kel Mitchell on the line with us. So, yeah, you know, Kel, you said so much. I want to ask you the hip hop question before we get into your music. You know, everybody is celebrating hip hop turning 50 this year. What's your personal, opinion on the state of hip hop? Like, you've been around music long enough, you grew up on it, you see how CHH is in the conversation now, a part of hip hop history. So, just in general, what's your state on where the culture is right now for 50 years?
Woo! Here's the thing that I love about hip hop, because, you know, growing up in Chicago, I saw, you know, the rise of like Common. You know what I mean? When that was really going down, you know what I'm saying? The Brat, you know, all these different artists, you know, around that time. And my sister worked at a record company called, a record store called Metro Music in Chicago. And everybody came through there on the south side of Chicago. And I was a B-boy. I was into hip hop. I breakdanced, all that stuff. And I love how hip hop evolves. You know what I mean? How it evolves. It's just a growing tree that is so beautiful with all these different branches and different styles. And we just got to, you know, like really embrace it. I like a lot of, you know, how MCs that are older embrace the young, you know, people coming up, and just seeing the different styles that come out of it, like pop with hip hop and how it's mixed. And then even with CHH, how it's grown with the different styles that are into it. I love that. And I love that, especially in CHH, where it's still the same message. You know what I mean? Where bringing people to God, letting them know about Christ. But I love the fact that now we get the EDM Christian, and we get the, you know what I mean, the pop and hip hop, you know, shout out to the women. They killing it right now. You know what I'm saying as well. So I love it, man. I love it. And being in music for so long, you know what I mean? I really enjoy it. You know what I mean? I just love seeing it. And what's funny is that I always play CHH artists, like in my photo shoots, when I'm doing meetings and all these different things that I'm doing, and people hear it in the background amongst other music, and they're like, yo, wait, they talking about Jesus. Wait, hold up. That's crazy though. Like, the beat is nuts. And I love introducing people to new music. It was like Rapzilla was, everybody just felt like I was like an A&R of music, because I literally was like, I'm promoting everybody, and I just was doing it for the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, man, speaking of the music, you got to give us some of this background on Go Time now. I mean, you've always been inspirational, upbeat, and positive and motivating, but this is something a little different. So can you give us a little background on that?
Yeah, so just like Bless Mode doing so well, you know, and shout out to you know, Amplify, RMG, and shout out to, you know, the whole family, you know, Doc, Derek, Minor, all everybody. But for me, everybody was like, yo, Kel, Bless Mode did so good. Let's get back in the studio. And I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? And Go Time was like, for me, I was going through something at the time. And I was motivating myself within it. And I was, because I'm also a youth pastor as well. And at the time, I was preaching about keeping calm and having peace, even though there's trouble going on and there's situations going on. So I was thinking to myself, like, hey, an alarm clock saying, get up. God is saying, keep going. You know, I'm your shield. Don't worry about it. Get up. Get up, go after it, do what I told you to do. And in heaven, you've already won because I'm timeless. That's what God is saying to us. Like, I'm timeless, you already won. We already know what you could do. It's just about you getting up and putting that, you know, that activeness to that faith. And so for me, I was like, okay, Go Time, get up. It's time to move. And just like within the like lyrics, you can hear my heart. Cause I remember like I had the beat and I was just driving in my whip. And I was motivating myself at the time. Because with me, it's like, when I want to hear people to hear this, I want them to feel the heart in my music. And the thing about it is that I was like, I remember beating my chest like, yo, Kel, you got this. You could like, get it, get up. God is with you. He's with you every moment. And the lyrics just started like coming out. And I'm just like, okay. And I stopped the car. I'm like, let's go. Started writing, went to the studio. Put it down, but you feel that within the music. And it's such a beautiful thing where people hit me up after they hear the song and they're like, yo, this is my new alarm clock. This is the motivation. I'm super excited about it. And that's a beautiful thing. It's confirmation from the Lord, you know?
It's confirmation for us too. We broke our neck to Bless Mode, but then he sent me Go, and I was like, he's never going to stop. He's never going to stop.
Listen, and you setting something up hard. Let's be very clear. I know you said you love music, and you're probably looking to do some different type of music down the line. I don't know if we're gonna receive it, man. We need this high energy, head nobbing. Like if you come with something, you know, you singing on it, we're gonna look at you kind of sideways, like, okay, that's cool, Kel, but come on back.
What are we doing? No.
What are we doing?
No. What are we doing?
Listen, Kel, I want to ask you, you know, being a youth pastor, let's be very clear. It's different in today. Let's be very clear. I remember, you know, me going to my youth pastor and having conversations with him about everything, you know, whether, you know, something that I saw the culture doing, something that I saw the community doing. Like, I know it has to be taxing with everything that's put out, unfortunately, with this. Everything is on the internet, everything is on a cell phone. They got access to porn, they got access to all type of stuff that we had to, you know, steal magazines. I'm be honest with you, I'm so old.
Lord.
Yeah, we had to steal a magazine to see the stuff they see. They can just type it in their phone. I had to steal a magazine, kid.
National Geographic.
You know what I'm saying? I had to steal a magazine from the store, okay? But does that get taxing to you, just trying to encourage them to keep themselves, when you talk about purity, when you talk about all the drugs and everything that goes into it and how they're exposed to it so early?
For me, it's like it's a thing of like, let's do it. Let's get after them and let them know about God, and me being transparent as a youth pastor. Just like how you just said, hey man, went to the magazine, went to the store and all these different things. Tell them stories. You know what I mean? Because the teens can like sniff out when somebody just like, oh, I'm just going up there and I'm gonna tell you this scripture and then we out. No. Tell them real stories of how you overcome, how you got through the things you're going through. And that's what it is for me. I let them know the realness. When they come up to me, I let them know what's going on. I tell them about the thirst traps. I tell them what's going on in your life, the habits that you need to change in your life that's making the obstacles come up in your life. all these different things. You know what I mean? I let them know about in the drugs, in all those things. And the thing about it is that for me, like being in the entertainment business at such a young age and all the things that I've experienced, I'm like, I go to God and I'm like, oh, I see the alley oop. I see what you did. You know what I'm saying? I see what you did, because I'm the best one to in this moment to talk to the youth at my church. I was like, let's go. And then to be able to do that. And you know, when I wanted to take the call to do, you know, to pick up this, you know, this call of doing it, I was like, nah, Lord, like a youth pastor, what? You know what I mean? Like, are you saying? It wasn't like I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, what? But he was just like, no, I want you to do this. And I had already been speaking to kids, you know, all over different cities, you know, youth groups, juvie homes, telling my story. And me and my wife had did an event out here for Carson, California, that we did for over like 4 years, that we were doing with kids. And so for me, it was just a good transition already. And when the Lord spoke to my heart and was like, this is what I want you to do, but I also want you to stay within the entertainment business, that was even a taxing thing, because it's almost like, how I'm going to juggle all this with being a husband, being a father, working as well, and doing all these different things, and doing sermons as well. And God was like, I'm going to give you the endurance to do it. You got to do this. And I said, okay, because in my ups and downs, you were always there, God. You were with me every step of the way. So if you telling me to do this, I'm going to do it. Listen. You know, and I'm going to listen. And it's something beautiful, like when you're talking to the teens, right? And sometimes you think you're not reaching them because they just be looking like, you know what I'm saying? But then it was a moment where like they'll come up to me and they'll be like, yo, you know what you said about 4 weeks ago? I used that and I prayed on it and it worked. And I'm like, yo, and I just like go home and break down, because it's like, oh, they listening. And that right there, like fueled me so much, because like seeing the breakthroughs happen in life, seeing their faith grow, their spiritual growth. You know, I've had ones that been there and now they've graduated. It's been awesome. And even when it was a school shooting that we had, and I was shooting Dancing with the Stars at the time, and one of my students was in a school shooting while I was doing rehearsals for Dancing with the Stars. First lady called me and was like, hey, you need to call the family, you need to call the student. So I did that within that moment. And so that's why I let people know, like, this is real. This is not like a thing of like, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be doing Good Burger weddings and things like that. No, like this is part of my life. Is 24/7. It's not just on Sunday. I'm praying with them. I'm talking to my staff. Like, this is real talk. And so this is a passion for me, because a lot of, you know, being in the church is what helped me growing up in Chicago.
Thanks.
And and people praying me through helped me, you know what I mean, not go down the wrong path.
Listen, I appreciate you sharing that. I mean, you have to hear testimony. You know, the Bible says we overcome by our testimony, the blood of the Lamb, and, you know, power of our testimony. Listen, you are nominated for so much. You've gained so many awards. You're a comedian, producer, rapper, writer, author. I mean, we could go down a list, but I appreciate you just bringing up the fact about your wife. When you started in the game, you were not married. You were young, you know, not married. Like, what has God kind of shown you, you know, now that you have a wife and kids, and you are in that limelight, that spotlight in Hollywood and walking through life? Like, you know,
man, my beautiful wife, Asia, is my best friend. You see, you know, she's in the picture right back there. And so like, that's, Asia's my best friend, man. And the thing about it is that everything that I do, and when I do it, I know she's praying, I'm praying, we're praying together. Jesus is within our marriage. He's with us all the time. I love being married, man. And everybody knows, like, I talk about my wife 24/7. You know, all the time. I'm smiling right now, getting giddy. You know what I mean? About it. But it's like, you know how Beyonce, you know how she said, let me upgrade you. You know what I mean? When I met my wife, you know what I mean? Like, for real, like, there was a spiritual upgrade. You know, he who finds a wife find a good thing. And it's really this upgrade that happened within me spiritually that was so beautiful. You know what I mean? And we waited, you know, to, you know, from, you know, we were abstinent, had not having sex before we got married. And that was beautiful too, because, you know, I had never done that before. And so it was a beautiful thing to share that with her, because both of us had, you know, sex in other relationships, but we were like, let's do this. and let's make it right. Let's do this way. It's going to be awesome. And it was something beautiful in that because I got to really, chivalry with my wife. It felt like a, old time romantic, 40s love where it was kind of like dating and then, it's, saying, okay, I'll see you next time type deal. You know what I mean? Like it was, and
no going home, huh? No going home.
Right. I'm going, you going this way. And then like to really like what, you study what you admire. You study what you admire. And so the thing about it is that I admire everything about her. She always, she encourages me with the things that she does. And so like, even through our dating process, once you took like the sex side of it and all those things like that, and you just really like, well, who was she in the inside spiritually? Mm-hmm. And then when the sex happened, that's icing on the cake. That's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, hey, come on. Yeah.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Go time. It's go time.
It was go time. It was go time. Right. But listen. Yeah, man. But that's what it's about. That's that love. And we love showing, our kids our love, and just showing people our love and me celebrating my wife. I think that's so important to celebrate Black love, relationships. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Listen, we got to get you out of here, but I got you got to tell the people about Good Burger 2. You bringing that iconic movie back to life, reviving it. Talk about it. Tell the people what you're doing and when it's gonna drop.
Yeah, man. So we're excited. You saw us announce it on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It's going down. I'm literally having meetings every day, you know what I mean, with it because I'm producing it as well. Keenan and I both are producing Good Burger 2 as well. You all are going to love it. Of course, everybody just found out, but we've known about this for the last 3 years because the thing about it is that we want to make sure we have a good movie that the 90s fans enjoy, and then also the kids that have been introduced to it, that they enjoy it too for the whole family. And the script is fire. The music is fire. As far as the cameos, y'all about to be like, like for real. Like this is like, it's fun. It's like it's part one, but on steroids. You know what I mean? And it's like, we really wanted to create an experience for everybody, so they feel like okay, they stepping back into the 90s, but then also too, they have this new way of seeing Good Burger and seeing Ed in a new light. Y'all gonna love it.
We're gonna love it. We're gonna love it.
I'm excited because I feel like Paramount gonna come down off the roof like, Kel, you saying too much.
Right. Listen, we definitely can't wait for it to drop. We all will be at the theaters or wherever it's at. We're streaming it, whenever it drops. We're going to watch that thing. Listen, I got to ask you our super group question, and we're going to let you go. If you could pick 2 artists, dead or alive, from any genre to build a super group, what 2 artists you picking?
As far as me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the group. I'm in the super group.
You're in the group.
You the lead rapper. Let's be very clear. This is your group. You picking 2 artists to come and be on your left and your right. Who you picking? Dead or alive? Don't matter.
Dead or alive? Okay.
Dead or alive.
Ooh. Cisco. Y'all didn't think I was gonna do that.
Cisco. Go ahead.
Cisco and Usher.
Oh man.
And Kill.
Dang.
I'm telling you right now.
Oh wow.
That group will be out of here.
Wow.
Be out of here. It's like the you know what I'm saying? The male TLC. It'll be crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That's dope.
Listen, we appreciate you rocking with us this morning, Kel. Can you tell the people how they can connect with you, follow you, and please introduce your new single?
Okay, so this is Kel Mitchell. You can follow me at I am Kel Mitchell on Instagram, and as well, just type in Kel Mitchell, Google me, Kel Mitchell come up, you know what I mean? KelMitchell.com, visit that, you get this shirt right here, Grape Nose Boy, get that. You get my book, all of those different things, myspiritfood.com, that's my church. And then here's my new single I'm super, super excited about. It's called Go Time. Remember to go after all the things that God has put in your heart. Get up, go get it. Don't give up. God is saying, keep going. Let's go. Moving like Sonic. My faith is bionic. Let's go.
Keep it locked. You tuned into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.